Well, hello there. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
And we are without Erin. And for those of you all who don't follow us on social media, if you're not in our Facebook group or watched our YouTube video or seen our Instagram post, Erin is going to be off for a little bit because she is going through her own health challenge that she is being so open with. So we are not saying anything that she would not be okay with us sharing. She has a brain tumor that was discovered with some vertigo that showed up unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
And right now she's in the testing phase, but she's in a very, very positive space. We've had a chance to go see her.
Mm-hmm.
We are so appreciative of all the love and support that this community has shown Erin. She told us to let you all know that she is in good spirits. She is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And she misses you guys. But for a few weeks or until we kind of get, more information about when she's on the other side of this, you're going to see me and this lovely lady sitting next to me. Rikki, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm, praying for Erin, and I'm too. I'm really glad that we got a chance to see her and check in. And people just, I mean, if you saw the videos that we posted on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, like there was lots of laughter and lots of joy in that room because, Erin is relying on her faith and we are too. And we're staying hopeful. So we do. I echo your sentiment that we are just asking everyone to just join us in prayer and positivity.
Yeah, it's going to be a process, and the joke was, she had to one up me because I was going through my DCIS second breast cancer journey, which thankfully I am in the radiation kind of piece to it, which is the end of the treatment phase. And Erin just had to go ahead and pop in something new. But we're really, really hopeful and excited to see how God's going to work in this. And until then, she's given us all the marching orders. Like she's told us, we've talked about all the different things that we're going to discuss to keep things going because we love interacting with you guys and love posting and all of that. And Rikki, how has your week been other than that? Because the last time we kind of talked, like it's been in that summer, like still school time, like school's officially done, right?
I have 3 more days, but they are half days. And it's well, it's been really, really a long month.
It's always like that at the end.
It does. But I mean, we're pretty much, we're in summer, at this point we're in summer mode, even if we have a few more days yet to go in and pack up some things and all that. Like we're in summer mode. So I'm there. My brain is there. I am just ready to relax a little bit and take some time off.
Speaking of summer, which is my favorite, well, I'm not going to lie and say it's my favorite season because it's too hot. I'm not an extremes person. Like the whole winter and summer, fall, spring, like more so fall, like that's my jam. But summer, I always think of all of the things that like we have going on for like vacations. I think of summer and I think of going somewhere, cookouts, like all of the fun things. And, I have my Williamsburg vacation and things that are coming up or that I've been, I actually had gone on and done, but it's very hard to stay on track. And I wanted to ask this question because we kind of have always thought, I always thought of summer as like it's supposed to be the easiest time to lose weight because one, it's really, really nice outside. Like everyone's outside. You see people out running, even if it's hot, like people tend to associate summer with being outside. And you have like the fresh fruits and the salads. But I will tell you that I have not had a summer where I have consistently lost weight in my adult life. Yeah. And I don't know, I thought that was just fascinating. And I guess it shouldn't be fascinating, but have you ever thought about that? Like summer and not losing weight?
Yeah, I feel like, as someone who has, at least in the past 5 years, consistently had the opportunity or had the summer completely off.
Yeah.
I know that I do have to be intentional. I think I saw a meme the other day about teachers, how we basically hibernate. Like we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do all these things. And then like we get on the couch, pull a blanket over us, and then you don't see us for 2 months. Like that's not exactly how I am, but I can relate so much because especially that first week, it's like, I'm not doing anything. I am going to sit on this couch. I'll be lucky if I wake up before noon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I do associate summer with like weight loss and being able to move more and all of that. But I also know that for me and for probably a lot of people who have a change in their schedule, I have to be intentional because I don't have those intentional times
Yeah.
where I'm at work and I'm moving.
Yeah.
So it is more challenging when I think about it than it seems.
And you're kind of, I mean, you've had some extraordinary weight loss recently. You know, I know you're over 30 plus pounds down, looking great. But you're also
Thank you.
somebody I know who likes to kind of go out to, I don't know, like restaurants, and you're very, very
Mhm.
social. So
Yeah.
when you're not like tucked under the covers, you know, going out and kind of navigate, you probably have more opportunity to navigate like a lot of social situations during the summer.
Mhm.
Do you find like
Yeah.
that's tough to do?
I think it's another situation where I have to be very intentional because, like, I have friends who are like, "Oh, I'm in town," and they're not usually in town, or it's friends that I haven't caught up with in a while, or going away with family, going to Williamsburg too, and some of my cousins will be there. Like, seeing people makes you naturally gravitate towards like, let's get coffee, let's get ice cream. Let's get usually like usually a meal is shared. So I
Yeah.
think that also has to be a conscious decision because yeah, there are a lot more opportunities and sometimes it is like let's go to a museum or something. But if you're walking around for hours and hours, what are the chances that you're not, getting anything to eat at all? You probably are going to stop and get something and the choices aren't that great. So it's like there's a lot of intentionality behind like, okay, if I know I'm meeting with people, I might have to be the one to say, let's meet somewhere where I can have a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
what about
kind of,
you? How is your summer impacted by, a lot of moms having their little ones out of school and having to, have the food around and the things that normally are sent in the lunchbox? How is your summer impacted by the change?
I think that I'm one who thrives off of routine,
Yeah.
and the loss of routine that the summer can bring, because like you said, I do have my little guy and he's in and out with like camps and doing food camps, but also like I have to like fill his day with some things.
Yeah.
But also we are going on a lot of vacations because I'm trying to like really, I'm in the season of trying to find joy, as you know,
Mhm.
and trying to embrace life after treatment. So I think that it's hard for me to find the balance sometimes of not being in weight loss mode when I am focused on joy, but also not doing it too much to the other extreme. And
Mhm.
summer, for whatever reason, like you said, tends to be very carby for me, very high sweets as my way of like treating myself. I don't know why I associate treats with joy. I guess it makes sense a little bit because sugar is joyful. But it's also not only high point, but it doesn't really make me feel the best. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't want to another piece to this is I don't want to rob Isaiah of like moments because I don't know. I associate things in my childhood with like when I think of summer, I think of popsicles and ice cream and all of the things. And I want him to have a healthy relationship with food where
Mhm.
he doesn't view those things as like bad. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Like I don't want him to look and go, "Oh no, I can't have ice cream because it's too much sugar." And part of
Mhm.
that sometimes is modeling, like, "Oh, well, mommy's going to have a little scoop of it, but I might not have the whole thing." So trying to work through that is what's hard for me during the summer. I also deal with a lot of food pushers during summer because when you go to these cookouts, we have like family reunions. So I have two family reunion activities going on this summer where you have the
Wow.
person who makes their famous potato salad or their famous this, and it like offends them if you don't have any.
That's
So
hard.
being that I already am like a germaphobe sometimes when it comes to some of this cookout stuff, I'm trying to find a way to enjoy without feeling guilt,
Mm-hmm.
because moments like this, it's not really about the food, but sometimes the food is a part of the celebration. And
Yes.
how do I allow myself that space to say, I'm going to have the hot dog, I'm going to have the potato salad, I'm going to have some of the ice cream, but I'm going to eliminate the guilt. Because I think the weight gain that I've had during the summer has been because I beat myself up for the choices that I made, like
Mm-hmm.
at the different events. I didn't let it go. And that's part of my
Mm-hmm.
journey. I've been a recovering perfectionist that always thought
Yeah.
that I had to do everything right. Like a perfect summer is choosing watermelon instead of ice cream. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
but is that really a perfect summer, or is
Mm-hmm.
that just a choice that we make? And so,
And
yeah,
yeah, and we don't do those blanket statements with something like Thanksgiving. Like,
no,
yes, you have a little more control, at least most of the time, because you know, kind of know for the gist of what's going to be there. Like, there'll be lots of sweets, or there'll at least be pie and a cake and maybe some cookie. Like, you don't know everything all the time, but like there's going to be a turkey, there's going to be vegetables, there's going to be like whatever sides your family normally does. But like summer, why do we put ourselves in a situation where we say, blanket statement, this whole summer's been tough, or it's going to be tough? Like,
right.
we have those strategies where we plan out for our Thanksgiving. Why can't we apply that to like the family cookout, the family reunion, the trip to the beach, like for the days and the events that we know are happening and where we're going?
Yeah.
Like, we can plan ahead.
And I wonder if it's somehow tying it back to if we feel like the plan that we're doing or the way that we're eating is restrictive and not
Hmm.
something that we don't want to do. Like if we're living a lifestyle that we love, then you don't want to not do it. You know what I mean? No matter what
Mhm.
season it is. It's like,
Yeah.
but for me, if I'm so restrictive and I'm thinking like I don't eat sweets or I don't do this,
Hmm.
there's a rebellious piece to me. And I think you and I have talked about being similar in that way where it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to do this. And sometimes then I go to another extreme. To you, like you said, I could plan, but something about like, well, I'm on vacation, so I shouldn't have to plan for this.
Mm.
I shouldn't have to. I think about when you talk about revenge, what do you call it? Like when you stay up late,
The revenge bedtime.
revenge bedtime, right? Where you're like,
Yeah.
I know this is hurting me, but you're not going to tell me I've done too many work things today. So I'm going to stay up. And now, even if I'm impacted, it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's what I
It's
think about with
ridiculous.
vacation. Like I know that I could, it's not even if I made the choice not to count points, it's not really about the points. It's about
Right.
overindulging for me, like
Mhm.
going beyond my comfort level, beyond what is good and good
Mhm.
as defined by how I feel, not by the number of points that you have. Um,
Exactly.
I don't know. I have a problem with trying to figure out how to do that, and not let it impact me long term.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we have to be more intentional, like you said, about why am I running away from the planning? Why am I running away from doing those things?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Because I mean, I think also I love what you said about like we do have that childish part of us. It's like, I don't wanna.
No.
But is it, how much does it take away? Like, I don't know that I have the answer, but like if I were to say I'm going to Disney,
Yeah.
and let's say I decided to track a day at Disney, would it really ruin the trip if I tracked it, even if I track a 200-point day?
Right.
It's like, is that really ruining it? Or is it like, because the time that it takes to do that, like at least it's awareness brought to it. I'm not saying it has to be every day, but like, is it as bad as I've built it up to be in my head?
That's such a key point because I think that how we are processing it is the whole issue. Like tracking
Mhm.
without judgment and saying, okay, I had a 500-point day is different from tracking a 500-point day and then beating yourself up for it. Because I think I'm still
Mm.
also struggling with a lot of my body issues during the summer because that's the time that everybody has like showing all the skin. And if I'm not feeling comfortable in my body, that also impacts how I'm viewing my choices.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like if I
Mhm.
don't like how I feel in my body and then I'm
Mhm.
eating things or I'm doing things that I have deemed unhealthy,
Mhm.
then it starts that shame spiral that we talk about that then tends to lead to more shameful activities.
Yeah.
Because I'm not giving myself grace. I'm not saying, girl, wear the shirt, you look great in it. And even if you know, could you have lost more weight? I don't know, maybe, but
Mhm.
today you look great. Today you're fine. And today you ate 500 points. And okay, now we go to bed and
Right.
we wake up and that was a great meal. Let's move on. I get stuck.
Mhm.
I get
Yeah.
stuck. And it takes away my
Right.
joy because then I'm spending the whole time beating myself up. And you get to the end
Mhm.
of the summer and all you've done is lament the choices that you made, which really suck the joy out of it anyway.
Right. And then does that impact like, oh, I'm gonna get up early. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna get up early and I'm gonna walk on the beach for 10 miles because I like or because I ate 500 like
Yeah.
we so easily slip into like I'm gonna use something that really should be something I've built in as a routine because I want to be healthy
Yeah.
into I'm punishing myself with exercise or I'm punishing myself with a salad or greens or whatever it is
Yeah.
because I feel like that's what I deserve because I made the quote unquote bad choice.
And I think about how you and I, when we went to Disney, when it always sticks,
Mhm.
we reference it a lot, but there were so many because that was a vacation
Yes.
and a vacation where we had what we wanted.
Mhm.
But we did it in a way where we were able to I don't know, it felt joyful. If you
It
have
did.
the smoothie, but you split it,
Mhm.
and you both get to experience it, and you're like, "That was enough," and we can talk about
Mhm.
if we liked it together, or,
Yeah.
"Let's split the funnel cake. Let's do
Mhm.
that." Like, and if you wanted the whole one, of course,
Mhm.
absolutely, but there's something about the freedom of, like, because I think you and I came in and we were very resolute. I just want to make sure it's clear, I'm eating whatever I want on this trip. And
And
I
we did.
and we did, but we were
But there was no shame in it,
there's
and there
no
was also
shame.
no overindulgence, but there was no like, I remember that last day we were there, we had the opportunity to go to a buffet. There was a,
Mhm,
very nice restaurant in the hotel that served breakfast and the, like, all you can eat buffet was an option. We
mhm,
were leaving, we were about to get on the shuttle to go to the airport, but we had enough time to go to the buffet, but neither of us wanted to. And
right,
yeah, I think it was one of those things where everyone at the table had to. And the other two ladies weren't, as far as I know,
mhm,
like quote unquote dieting or anything like that.
mm,
But like all of us said, oh, that didn't sound appetizing to us. And Disney buffets are pretty notorious, like in a good way, like um, for being, full of great foods. But we were like, that's not what I want. Like it just there was joy in choosing the healthier, if you will, option or the less what's the word I'm looking for? Like we weren't looking to stuff our stomachs. We
right.
were looking to have a meal that we enjoyed. And I think that was the distinction for us.
But I think that that is key because, like, as we're kind of want to shift the conversation to solutions, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 2 things that are sticking out with when you bring that up. One, we started off even and you don't have to be as, like, verbal about it as we were, because sometimes I think I was expressing to Aaron and Rikki yesterday, whenever we're making choices, like, we try to give people, like, heads up, like, "I just wanted to let you know, if you see me eating a cookie, I'm eating it, and you better not say anything about it because I am eating whatever I want this trip." But that's like it's like, "I don't want you to judge me,"
Mm-hmm.
right? Kind of a feeling. And I was
Yeah.
wondering, what if we were to embrace for this summer? Like, what would it look like to have a shame off you summer? Where
Mm-hmm.
even if we don't verbally say out loud,
Mm-hmm.
like, I am not, because like we did with our trip, I'm going to eat whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to enjoy this summer. And I'm going to also, something about that freedom is going to give me the ability to do it in a way where there's no need to hide, no need
Mm-hmm.
to over explain, no need to um it's not even discipline, but no, yeah, there's no need to beat yourself up because we've already said this summer I'm going to have what I want. I'm going to do it within reason because I don't have any reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
that freedom gave me the ability to say I only want half.
Right. And I think that's so powerful. But I think the challenge with that, and the thing we have to push against, is knowing that not everyone is going to accept that, and not everyone's going to respect that. Because I had a situation where a very well-meaning friend, who was very much trying to help, made a comment to me about a food choice that I was making. And I'll never forget, it was a macaroni and cheese place in a city where I had always wanted to try it and never got a chance to try it. Yeah, macaroni and cheese is high in points, but I had pre-tracked it. So I did everything what I felt like was right. But this friend was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that?" And it made me kind of revolt a little bit, like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you."
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is so meaningful, but we have to also be prepared that there might be those well-meaning people who are like, "Are you sure you should be eating that? Are you sure you should be, having an unlimited summer? Are you sure this is a good choice?" Like, again, not that they're trying to harm, but I know if that is what I've been resolved to say, that like this summer is going to be a summer where I'm free from shame and all that, I have to also not take it personally if someone still decides to say something that makes me feel shame or like they're shaming me.
And 1000%. And I won't even minimize or try to say that that's not easy, especially I'll speak for myself. I'm a reformed people pleaser, who a lot of times is wanting everybody to view me positively. And even though I recognize that I don't really control, like there's nothing that 100% of the people in my life are going to agree with that I do, especially if I'm living in my truth. If my truth is that I want a barbecue sandwich and French fries, and people are like, you could have either or I could have both.
Right.
I don't want either or. Well, yeah, if you cut the sandwich in half, no, I was going to eat the whole sandwich because I'm hungry. I want the whole sandwich. And if they want to tie it, I think they want to tie to, well, yeah, that's why you've always struggled. No, the reason why I've struggled is because of the shame and the guilt that goes along with what happens after the sandwich. And really, over explaining is an insecurity of mine. And I don't even have to, I can hear what you say. This is what I pray for myself for this summer, because I think we're going to have to test it. Because what I'm learning for myself is that doing it the other way for the past summers hasn't really worked, And I think you're right that people are going to have their judgments, but I'm learning that a lot of times their judgments have more to do with how they judge themselves.
Yes.
Based on, what they're, a lot of times the people who have ever commented on my food are those who are doing something health related themselves, and they're having their own insecurities about it, whether that be a family member who's always struggled with their weight. So they feel that by commenting on what I do, especially if they feel they're doing well, like, when people start to feel like they're doing really well, they have a lot of judgments. Yeah, all I eat is this. Okay, well, that's great. I'm going to have this, and I'm not going to do it I'm not doing it just to piss you off. I was really going to have it for myself, because that's my problem. Wanting to have things because you don't want me to have it. And we've talked about that. I didn't want the piece of cake, but the fact now that you even thought to open your mouth and tell me that I shouldn't have the cake means I want 2 slices, and I'm going to eat it in front of you, because I don't like to be controlled.
Yes.
Right. So don't tell me what to do. I want the cookie. And that's why with myself and with people that I love in my life, I try to be very, very clear. The reason there's no judgment is because I don't like to be judged. And I also don't know how this is fit into your day. And you're not always going to have that. And what if it doesn't fit into the day? What if this is my 500-point day and just I'm on vacation and I want a slushie, and I want the cookie, and I want the barbecue sandwich, and that's just it. I think that the prayer is that I don't want to be that to someone, and I don't want someone to do that to me, but it's probably going to happen. And then what? And then what does that mean? Does that mean then that I am going to change my behavior based on somebody else's judgment or comment? And if so, why? Why are we giving them that much
like control over our emotions.
Yeah.
Really, nobody
Yeah.
should have that much control over and I deal with that in other situations too, where I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I all of a sudden like feel that way because of one thing someone else said? But it goes back to the people pleaser thing.
Yeah.
And if we're letting go of people pleasing, then we can let go of other people's expectations that don't really have anything to do with us reaching our goals.
Right. And and having to sit with like maybe the part of the shame off you summer and the embracing is embracing that I don't have to explain
Mhm.
and that I won't. I'm not going to explain my choices to you because I
Mhm.
don't have to. I've dealt with it and I understand, even though I understand it may be coming from a place of love, because especially with certain people, I can understand that you're saying it from a place of love.
Mhm.
But it's still my choice, and I'm still going to make a decision as an adult to do what makes me feel good,
Yes.
whether that's change my behavior because
Mhm.
some things I might not. I also am adult enough to know there's some things I really don't know. Like if somebody said, "Oh,
Mhm.
hey, Candice, just want you to know that that was the regular Coke and not the Diet Coke." You know, maybe they thought that I read it wrong because they
Mhm.
know that I've lost weight. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I thought I picked up the Diet Coke, but now that you show me, or I'm like, oh no, I know it's a regular Coke. You know, I'm just
Mhm.
drinking regular because I don't want diet. Um,
Mhm.
Sometimes information is power, and I don't want people to feel like they
Yes.
can't say anything to me. I don't want to
Yeah.
make that the space. I just want you to know that once I've made it clear that I know what I'm doing, that I don't need your additional judgments
Mhm.
because, or if you do want to give them, you can say them, but I'm not going to let it influence my behavior in a way that makes me feel bad about me. Because
Mhm.
then I don't have the summer I want. I don't have the season that I feel I deserve. I'm not operating in joy. And we
Right.
don't want to get to September and you're looking back over the last few months and you go, I just spent the whole month the summer beating myself up and having
Mhm.
no fun, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah, we don't want to look back on that season or any season of our life and think that, what could have been different if I had just kind of let go of those other expectations of other people.
And I love this conversation. So if you find yourself kind of like Rikki and myself, I know we're not alone, you know.
Yeah.
It's summer now, and I'm hoping that you are having a summer filled with joy, filled with the things that bring you happiness, no matter what that looks like. And if other people don't understand or want to kind of give you their opinions, think about and maybe tell us in our Facebook group or on Instagram. How do you handle the opinions of others? How
Mhm.
do you handle all the things that summer throws your way and still come out of it with joy?
Mhm.
Joy, whether the scale goes up or down. How do you maintain your joy during the summer? We'd love to hear from you. Like I said, if you want to join our Facebook group, you can go to Facebook, search for Real WW Talk, answer a few questions. We will let you in. If you don't answer the questions, you will get denied. That's mainly because we like our private space filled with real people who are not bots or people who are trying to scam our members. So please answer the questions. We'll let you in, or join us on Instagram, Real WW Talk there. And if you're on Connect, we've always said our Connect profiles are there. Maybe we'll get better with it. Probably not going to happen. We're gonna try, but yeah, just find us on Instagram or Facebook, and also listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Take us with you on your walks because we're still in our step bet, Rikki. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
in our steps.
Fill in.
Erin's probably not. Okay, guys.
Right.
So if
Right.
you're looking for her to comment, she's probably, we're gonna give her a break with the step
Yes.
bet. But
Yes, she can have a break, but we're the rest of us, we're in it.
yeah. So we would love to hear from you. And also, we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to those of you all who are supporting our podcast. We have monthly subscribe. I guess it's a subscriber
Mhm.
donators who keep this podcast going. We always like to tell you, we do have full-time jobs, even though Rikki gets the month of summer off and she's hibernating. That's still a full-time job because she has to deal with our kids. Well, we do not want to, trust me. So we are very, very appreciative to those of you who support the podcast. And if you don't want to do it monthly because it might not be in your, the best financial decision for you, and you want to do a one-time donation, we do have that option as well. And we are very grateful for those of you who do that. And Rikki, could you tell them if they want to, they can send us an email if they want to, right?
Yes. We would love to hear from you. realwwtalk@gmail.com is our email. And we definitely, try to respond to all those as quickly as possible. And we love hearing from you.
Yes. And you can also send us, I think, a message via Buzzsprout.
Yes.
We're not able to respond.
I think it's called fan mail within Buzzsprout, but just know that it really comes as a message to us that we are unable to respond to, but we love seeing them. And we definitely, when we get a chance, we shout those out too.
Yes. So thank you for joining us this week. And we wish you a wonderful week on plan. Like I said, do what makes you feel good and happy start to summer. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.